Kauai students make a very long-distance call, in fact, to space. We'll have the story when News 8 at 6 returns.
Some students from Kauai made a very long-distance call today to the International Space Station.
Aloha, this is Nalani. Even after all your training, what surprised you the first time you saw the Earth from outer space? Over.
Nalani, that's a good question too.
Students from Island School in Lihue used an amateur radio to ask astronauts questions about life in space. This morning, the space station passed over the islands, giving the youngsters a chance to talk to the astronauts.
Okay, petting a dolphin is cool, but I'd rather go to the space station.
Yeah.
NA1SF, NA1SF. This is KR1STA calling from Island School on the island of Kauai.
KR1STA is NA1SF. This is Frank, commander of the International Space Station. How are you?
Aloha, good morning from the Garden Island of Kauai, Commander Culbertson. The students of Island School have a lot of questions for you. Are you ready to start?
I'm very ready, and I'm very excited about having the chance to talk to them. I think what you're doing in studying space technology and amateur radio is great, and will serve the kids well in the future. It's a lot of fun to be involved in science, having a ball up here. So let's go.
Good, they're ready to start. Stand by for your first question.
How do you exercise in space? Over.
Hi, Alan. We exercise 2 to 2.5 hours every day up here. In fact, I just finished exercising. We have a treadmill, 2 stationary bicycles, and a machine called a resisted exercise device that allows us to do the same as lifting weights on Earth. And we use at least 2 or 3 of those every day to try to stay in shape so that we can stand up when we get back home. Over.
Hi, this is Lisa. Why does the Milky Way have so many colors? Over.
Because the Milky Way has different colors for 2 reasons, primarily. One is that stars at different temperatures have different color surfaces. And so, particularly out here in space, we can see the colors very clearly. There's also gas in different parts of the Milky Way, our galaxy, and all galaxies, that when stars shine through it, it gives off different colors depending on what chemicals are in the gas.
Aloha, this is Krista. If there's no air in outer space, what is the rocket pushed against to control the space station? Over.
That's a very good question, Krista. A lot of people ask about that. We don't push against the air, obviously, since there's no air, and in fact a rocket or a jet doesn't really push against the air on Earth. It's pushing mass out the back, and for every action there's an opposite and equal reaction. And if you think about standing in a pool or in the ocean, for example, and picking up a friend and throwing them, when you throw them, you move in the opposite direction, not because you're pushing against the air or water, it's because you're pushing their mass. It's kind of the same thing.
Hi, this is Eric. What is the most exciting sight in space? Over.
Oh, that's a good question, Eric. I see lots of exciting things up here. Some things happening on Earth, some things happening up in the sky above us, and I've seen meteors entering the atmosphere from above, which is exciting. I've seen satellites go over above us. I've seen huge thunderstorms of lightning going for hundreds of miles across the top of it. I've seen volcanic eruptions. It's hard to pin it down to one thing, but I guess the most exciting thing is just seeing the Earth itself from 400 kilometers up. Over.
Aloha, this is Nalani. Even after all your training, what surprised you the first time you saw the Earth from outer space? Over.
Nalani, that's a good question too. I guess the biggest surprise I got on my very first sunrise was how bright the sun was and how many colors came out of the atmosphere as it came up above the horizon. Some of the other surprises were what it really felt like to be weightless and to actually be able to float around. Over.
Hi, this is Kayla. From the time you were young, have you always wanted to be an astronaut? Over.
I've been interested in flying before that, and then when astronauts started flying in space, I decided that's what I wanted to do and started reading everything I could about what they had done and how they got there and tried to do some of the same things. And I let people help me along the way, and I never let anybody tell me I couldn't do it. So you guys do the same thing. Over.
Aloha, this is Justin. Do You're training to be an astronaut. How long does it take? Is it hard? Over.
Justin, I had to apply to the program twice to get in it, and then I had to wait 6 years to fly my first flight, and I've been an astronaut for 17 years now, and I'm finally getting to fly on the station. So yeah, it does take a long time, but an individual flight usually is about 1 to 2 years of training before you actually launch, and it's worth it. Over.
Aloha, this is Madison. How has your body's natural sleeping patterns been affected by being in space? Over.
Madison, once I got used to sleeping in the sleeping bag up here in my quarters, it adapted pretty much to what I sleep on Earth. About the same number of hours, about the same quality of sleep, but it's really strange sometimes to wake up and not realize which way is up or down. Over.
Hey, this is Josh. Have you seen any stars explode while you were in the space station? Over.
Josh, I don't think we've seen any nebulas or exploding stars. But like I said, we have seen some meteors, and in a couple of days we're hoping to see the Leonid meteor shower come in, which is pretty spectacular. I have seen planets. I saw Saturn and its rings, and I saw Jupiter and its moons with just a pair of binoculars. Over.
Hi, this is Lacey. What exactly can you see from your present location in space? Over.
Lacey, if I could look outside, there's not a window right here by the radio, unfortunately, but if I were to look outside right now, I'd look down and see you guys. We're directly over Kauai.
Aloha, this is Lindsay. Why does the moon always keep the same face toward the Earth? Over.
Lindsay, that's a good question. I used to wonder about that too, and a good friend of mine explained it to me. Basically, the moon is not uniform. It's a little heavier on one side than the other, so over the millions of years that it's been there, it's gradually slowed in its rotation until the heavier side stays facing the Earth. Eventually, the Earth will do the same thing to the Sun, but it'll be a long, long time. We won't have to worry about it. Over.
Hi, this is Kalani. What is it like to be in space with other people and away from your family? Over.
Kalani, that's the only difficult part of this, I guess, is being away from my family for so long. Fortunately, my crewmates and I are all real good friends, and we get along great and communicate very well, which is really important when you're in a small space with other people or working with other people. It's important to you guys too. But we had to get used to each other. We come from different cultures, different languages, and so that's a big part of it. And then we had to each learn how to be away from our family and how to communicate with them. Communication with email and telephone is very important to us. So.
This is Grace. What are the atmosphere? Can you see the radiation belt? Over.
We can't actually see the radiation belt, but we can see the effect of it. The layer we're in is called the thermosphere. It's almost as active, not quite to the few molecules up to. We have to read the presentation every once in a while, but the effects that we see of being in this layer and from the radiation belt are the aurora borealis and the aurora australis, the northern lights and the southern lights. And a couple of weeks ago, they were incredibly spectacular. It looked like we were about ready to fly through a curtain of green, red, and orange in the sky. Of course, we didn't feel anything, but it really looked neat. Over.
Aloha, this is Rachel. Are the stars brighter in space? Over.
Stars are a little bit brighter, so I've been at sea near Hawaii, and I know that the sky is very dark there, and the stars are very bright. But if you're near cities, they don't look so good anymore. But the big difference is they don't twinkle. There's no atmosphere to make them look unsteady. They're very bright points of light.
This is Ryan. Does it seem like you age slower or faster in space? Over.
It depends on our schedule for that day. It doesn't depend on the days that we age pretty fast. But we can't really tell any difference. Theoretically, going at 5 miles a second, we might age a couple of seconds slower than our colleagues on Earth, our friends on Earth, but it's not really noticeable.
Okay, Commander, thank you very much. We greatly appreciate it. That's all our prepared questions. Island School wants to thank you for this exciting contact this morning. Please stand by.